Hey friends, my morning routine starts with me going to bed. Or depending on when you consider morning, I might continue working and then eventually go to bed because I have been working nights and it is sometimes morning by the time I sleep. And in this video, I want to talk about my morning routine that I've been doing, my day routine that I've been doing, because I am now probably more productive than I have ever been. But there's a pretty big but attached to that. I'm currently like the guy who watched a single motivational video on Instagram or YouTube and thinks he has to live his life hardcore and nobody understands him. I'm a Sigma male mom. That's why I eat lunch alone. Now, if you're wondering why there have been so many morning routine videos recently and you haven't seen it, I'm not going to show it, but there was this morning routine video of this guy going through an elaborate morning routine, starting I think at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., going through an elaborate process of swimming, dunking his head, sparkling water, bananas, I think, and people have been doing parodies and talking about it. And I know he sells coaching and other stuff. I know people are like, why are you bringing attention to it? I just want to talk about mine in a non-parody. Because, a quick note on stuff like that, I've tried things like that. I feel like a lot of people have, and I would do those elaborate morning routines if they actually help me get and do the things that I want, but they don't. As a lot of people noted, by the time that you do all of that, it takes like 5, 6, 7 hours, you might be too tired to do the things that you're prepping to actually do. So my morning routine that I'm going to do, very simply, is I go to sleep, and I sometimes wake up, maybe still in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, depending on when I go to sleep. And then I wake up, I get coffee or tea, depending on the day, and I walk with my wife and or family and sometimes friends. I try for this to be a relatively calm time. I don't like to wake up and go right to it. I have learned that I can do that. I can wake up and directly start a thing, wake up, get coffee, immediately start on writing, meetings, however, but I just prefer to have a little bit of a calmer warm up into that. So I might spend like an hour walking, and this is when I plan out my day and think of ideas. And then third step is I just determine the most important thing, and I do that. And I work on the most important thing. And if I finish that day, I move on to the next thing. The most important thing often might change from day to day, but generally it falls into maybe 2 or 3 categories, which is either writing, filming, editing. I guess there's more than 3. Sometimes business management, sometimes paying bills. It might change because it might be, oh, I need to work on this video that I want to produce, or I need to help this friend if they have something urgent come up. But that's it. So I wake up, I drink coffee while walking, and then I do the most important thing. And I just repeat that throughout my day. And the doing the most important thing, I made a post about this and people wanted me to elaborate on it, has been an acquired skill. I did not think I could do that. I used to take more time. This is the point of a morning routine, I think. More time to warm up into it. And then I tried to start going right into it. But I'd be like, I just don't feel motivated to do the thing that is the most important thing. A lot of people watching this, they have a very important thing, including getting fit, right? Or starting a book or reading a book that they've been meaning to do for a while, but they just haven't done. I've learned through practice that I can start even when I don't feel like it, and then like 10, 15 minutes in, I am usually immersed. It depends on the day, but I am usually immersed. So not just starting it, but actually really into it, the same way you would be if you play video games, if you're playing an exciting video game, or if you're watching your favorite movie or TV series and you're focused on it, to the point to where if you pull me out of it, I sometimes might seem a bit grumpy. And I don't know if it's my age, practice, or season of life, but that has been increasingly easy for me. It used to take a while. I was talking to a friend and she's like, oh, I can just start anytime, but start and actually be immersed in it, like fully into it, to the point where you enjoy what you're doing. So I guess some people would call it like the flow state of things. And I want to talk about that because I meant to add this at the beginning. I have been on the grind. So that's the morning routine stuff is actually fairly relevant to me because there's an underlying tone of optimizing your life. And I have been trying to be on the grind doing stuff. Not necessarily because I want to be rich or don't want to do this or a lot of stuff that's associated with like the Sigma grind set. It's because I might make a separate video about that, but my life is in a way right now where I have responsibility to a lot of people and I do not want to let them down. I want to be responsible. So if you notice me doing more stuff and you notice me up at 3, 4, 5 a.m., that's usually why. I'm still trying to get sleep. Sleep is important. I don't want to wake up early only to have a terrible day the rest of the day and work at half capacity because I thought it was important to wake up at 3 a.m. to have a morning routine. That might work for you, and that's working for you, and you want the sparkling water and the bananas, that's wonderful. This is what's working for me now. And I am more productive now than I think I have ever been in my life. I'm surprised at how much I can get done. I used to think I wouldn't be able to do this, or I would burn out, I wouldn't be enjoying myself. I do enjoy myself while I'm doing a lot of these things because I consider myself blessed. I am very grateful that I can do the content and talk to all of you and even write the book. And I'll talk about this maybe in another video if people want to hear about it. But while I am more productive now than I've ever been, I don't know if I am the happiest I've ever been. And it's not because of the work, right? So that was an important separation. So it's not that I work so much and so hard and I'm so on the grind that it's affecting my mental state. I just have other stuff going on, and it was through necessity that I found that my work capacity could actually increase. So this is hopefully temporary, right? So I'm working on these things and I want to take responsibility and not let people down, my friends, family, and people who rely on me. I want to work hard for them, and I don't want to be too vague for it, but I did start this as I was starting this. I'm going to cut a few things, but I don't even want to go around and film myself like pretending to work. I'm just going to film this video, make slight edits, and post it. Right now, the lessons I learned, which may work for some people, is that I prioritize getting enough sleep over waking up at a certain time. Some people wake up naturally at 7, 8 a.m., even earlier. I actually would prefer that. I would prefer to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning and go to bed a little bit earlier. But for whatever reason, right now, it has been harder for me that. And then when I try to stop myself earlier in the day, I don't end up waking up earlier. I just end up cutting in my workday and I don't get as much done. And the second thing is my work capacity is beyond what I thought it could be while still enjoying myself. So doing the thing, so research on flow state, some people, while they were doing the thing that they really cared about and they really enjoyed, they actually enjoyed themselves more than when they were relaxing. I feel that right now. I know some people can laugh at it, but for me, I enjoy doing that. I have to do some of it, but I just really enjoy doing it. And that's a valuable lesson that I'm grateful to have learned, and I'll try to remember for the rest of my life. And the third thing that I've learned is that different routines seem to work for different people. I've studied the work process of a lot of people that I admire, and there are some similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. And this is what's working for me right now. Some people do want an elaborate thing. They do want like the cold shower or waking up and jogging and stuff. And I've done similar things, and it didn't necessarily work for me, but it seems to really help some people thrive. And if that's working for you, that's great. For me, I've learned to prioritize getting enough sleep, having a little bit of downtime so I can plan. And then after I prep and not spending too long on it, I just get started on the thing and I can continue on the thing for hours and hours and hours with breaks. I just want to share that. I hope I didn't concern too many people. I just want to talk about what's going on in my life and share this in case it can help. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Not quite as short as I thought it would be. I might have to cut it down a little bit.